Happy Monday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, blah, blah, blah. Monday, Monday, boo, 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 yay, yay, yay. Here, here, here. I'm happy to be coming to you wearing my new long sleeve shirts. I decided to start the whole process off wearing the color that I most likely do not want to wear or like to wear on a Monday. And looking at it, it looks good. From what I've seen in reflection, it looks good. Definite improvement from my normal gray. Some of you may even say, why are you even wearing a long sleeve t-shirt? Because it's like 90,000 degrees out there. Well, not quite 90,000 yet, but it will be. I just like to sweat. And these are, I got 7 of them for like, I think $39 or something like that. Yeah, 7 for like $39. And they're like made of a different material, not cotton. A different kind of material that, you know, shouldn't absorb sweat and moisture as much. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, happy Monday. As I said earlier, my name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell. Coming to you live on Memorex. Blah, 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 blah. That's just how I feel today. I'm just like, whatever, you know. I'm just like, whatever. Had a good weekend. Had a very good Saturday. LA Maggots. I should make a separate video. Pop all that information out. It's good seeing them. The band sounded good. And I still can't get over how everything goes back to Jeffrey TV and objectivism. And it's about self and the desire of the individual. And for me, I don't think there's anything higher than somebody or something contributing to you being the person you always wanted to be, or to live the life you always wanted to live. And for me to have a band like the LA Maggots around that plays the music of Parliament Funkadelic, AKA P-Funk, the way I very, very, very deeply think it should be played. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. They got together for a group picture, and I'm standing in front of them, looking at them. You know, a couple other people behind me taking pictures and stuff. You know, we're taking pictures of them. I was just like, I thought that's my music. That's my music. And they come out and they play it, and the players who play it know it. And again, I was talking to Mr. Norwood Fisher after the show, and I was reminded that I'm not the only one who loves Parliament Funkadelic. I may be P-Funk 1. I may be or not be P-Funk 1. Oh, I'm definitely P-Funk 1, but you know what I'm trying to say. I might be the #1 fan, or I might not be. I'm being modest here. But it will tie into probably future dialogue on this conversation after seeing them 200 times. It's got to be some kind of record. But I'm not the only fan, and I'm not the only one who loves them. I was talking to Mr. Fisher, and I was reminded, legendary Fishbone, been all around the world, and mega star. Well, maybe not mega, but no Michael Jackson, Prince level stuff. But he's done stuff. He's been around. He knows. He's seen, and he's a fan. He's been a fan of Parliament Funkadelic. He's been a fan of Parliament Funkadelic. And I say that after having him do things or say things or actually show that he's a fan, and just not in words. Because you can say you're a fan, but then there's stuff that you can do, or just in your essence or whatever, that makes me go, okay. And with him, it was a George Clinton book signing. After party he came in, was playing bass, and they started playing some Brides of Funkestein. And he sang the underchorus right on time. I was like, you ain't supposed to know that. I said, you a star. You ain't supposed to know that. And then after the show, he was telling me, yeah. And I was telling him, I was gushing about how lucky, how grateful I am to have people play the music the right way. Because I've been talking about this for years, the right way and wrong way to play P-Funk, which basically came down to my subjective opinion of the way I think it should be done, and what I favorite and what I think is the best, and this and that. To have them, people come, musicians at that level, capable of doing it and willing to do it. Not only willing to do it, everybody's already willing to play it, but capable of playing. Like Mr. Fisher, he was like talking, he reminded me in a subtle way, he was like, yeah, Billy Bass lived with me for three different times. And he went on to say, sometimes Mr. Nelson would just play his bass and guitar for like days straight, just constantly, just playing. And it made me think, it let me know, yeah, not only does he have a passion for the music, but he got training and education from the masters, the people who created the music. A lot of these people have done study. Barry Chenault on drums. He played with P-Funk. He toured with him. He went through that school. Bobby Easton, I don't know what school he went through officially, but he got the sound. I told him after the show, you don't never play loud enough though. You don't never play loud enough. I told him, I finally got to tell him. And I was thinking, I'm me, him, Charlie Lake, just talking, blah, blah, blah. And then it hit me, I reminded him. I said, man, you don't never play loud enough. Cause like a couple of solos during Knee Deep or whatever, he's drowned out. I'm like, man, you gotta turn up. I was like, well, I seen Mr. Hampton play it before, and his guitar was so loud we couldn't hear the bass and drums. And that's not a complaint. That is by far not a complaint at all. So I got to tell him, and I think Charlie Lake seconded. He was like, yep. He said, turn it all the way up. Charlie Lake said, I said, man, you ain't never loud enough. But he has that sound, that tone. He knows the strokes. I'm sitting there looking, and you hear, doo, 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 doo. And you look around, because when I hear it, it strikes me. And I look, and I say, where'd that come from? And Chris, on keys, he got the right patches, he got the sound, he knows where they're supposed to come in. Those horn parts he plays on the keyboards have the right sound, and they come in, and it just adds to the essence. Of course, you got the rhythm section, bass, drums, the guitar. but that little accent of horns coming in there when it's supposed to, oh my, and that sound is supposed to be there, is there. Oh my God. Oh my God. It just hits that pocket. And Saturday they had some percussion, and the percussion was in there in the mix. Now, there's some effects or claps or machine on the hits that produce claps that don't seem to fit. Okay, don't fit. It's like sound, they were either too loud every now and then, or the clap is like, hey, this is not what happened, but like, people don't got no clap. Ain't no clap go there. Or every now and then it's like, hey, that's too much percussion. You know, Mothership Connection ain't got all that much percussion. You know, but something like One Nation, where you can have like a virtual clap, synthesized clap, or whatever, synthesized clap, whatever the word is, you know, that augmented clap or whatever, something like that. But on the traditional music, where it wasn't there, it sounds out of place to me, and it stands out. And that brings me to the point to where I even told him, I said, y'all playing it so good, I'm questioning if it's me. Y'all playing it, people have been playing the music so good lately that I'm questioning if it's me. And I'm reminded that I thought about it, there were parts of the show that did catch me. They were going, whoa, that don't sound right. Or, whoa, that don't sound right. It wasn't always perfect. So that kind of lets me know that maybe, quite possibly, the measuring tool is working or alerting. Because it's not like everything is like all perfect all the time, and it's like, you know, I'm hearing there are instances where the music doesn't sound right. So that means the gauge is at least turned on. And at least the gauge is turned on. So that, you know, I am open or able to hear parts that don't sound right. Because they played it, and then at a couple, first song they played, Cosmic Slop, it took a while to settle in, but when it did, the percussion was in there just enough to give it an energy, but not enough to override the essence of what the song is supposed to be. And there was some extra effects on the little sound machine or whatever that fit. And there was some maybe in there that didn't, but it wasn't too horrific. And then it locked in. And another time on Mothership Connection started, and there was no bass. You could hear, like, I guess the horn synth and some other stuff playing. You could hear it. And I was like, okay. But the bass didn't come in. And so you hear, but you hear that higher, no bass part. And then Noah's bass came in, and it was just filled it in. So beautiful. It even made me realize that there's more parts to that. It's just not a synth. It's like multiple instruments play that to get that sound. Because when that bass came in and rounded it out, and he got it tuned in or whatever, it was beautiful. And they was in the pocket. And they play it a little bit more up-tempo, a little bit more, I don't want to say like the record, but definitely a little bit more up-tempo than how the mother band plays it. The mother band being George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic, and in front of all that band too, I told them, I said, man, y'all playing it better than George now. I was kind of joking. And once again, when I said that about the Clones of Funk, when I saw the Clones of Funk, I was like, hey, they better than P-Funk. They playing this better than P-Funk. Again, it's two totally different things. I said, man, y'all playing it better than Georgia, than P-Funk. I said, but y'all ain't playing it better than the 420 Funk Mob. And then Mr. Fisher said, nope. And Mr. Fisher said, no. And I was like, yeah. And I remember he was there. I was like, he was there. Remember, he was there in New Orleans. And they played that last show they played when I thought that was the best performance of P-Funk I've ever heard in my life. And again, if that's true or not, doesn't matter. For that moment, that instance, it felt that way. And maybe even up until now, those few days or whatever, that moment, I had that experience of believing or feeling that that's the best performance of P-Funk I ever heard in New Orleans, May 4th, 2024, and 420 football player. I was like, all right, that's right, you was there. And I got all excited. I was excited. See, I don't listen to P-Funk. I don't listen to P-Funk, so when I do get to hear it live, I just go apeshit over it. And also I realized too, I don't go to see other music. I've given up. I was like, why even go? Why even go see all these other bands? People say, oh, there's a lot of people who are music aficionados or whatever you call them. And they go and see music and they see this, and that's cool. But I'm like, why? I just sit there and like, it's cool and everything, but, and every now and then, they'll hit something. But I just settle into all I get. I'm cool just going to see P-Funk, Maggots and P-Funk. And as I was saying, it's the style and the manner in which the LA Maggots play the music, which I may at times prefer over the mother band. What George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic do, and I made me realize this, it's the same players. It's the same core players that's in the, 420 Funk Mob. It's not the talent isn't there. It's not that, you got the best players of P-Funk in the world in that band. They play it differently. It's a different thing. It's not played in that same style, And to hear knee deep with that energy and that bounce, to hear it with that extra energy and that bounce, and to hear One Nation with the, bounce, maybe not play so heavy, but I like heavy, don't get me wrong. When I go see Mr. Clinton and them in that band, and I'll continue to go see them. I'm not putting that down. I'm just comparing. And I see how the LA Maggots play it, and it may be, and I'm probably need to listen to that live at the Beverly Theater again. But when that came out, and I was able to hear P-Funk played live with that quality of sound and in that tone and manner, that blew me away. That was it. That was it. And that whole, the 90s era, Sunset Boulevard, House of Blues, late 90s, mid 90s, that era of music, style of music. It was a little bit upbeat, still a little bit more energy, a little bit more wilder, but in that vein, that sound, that tone, that bottom. So when the Maggots play it, and I'm standing there on my side of the stage looking at that band, and not only that, I know the whole band, friends with them, to not only be friends with them, but to actually be a part of this thing that creates the music that I love so much in a way that I love, and I think is right. And I was telling Noah to them, I've been talking about playing the music right and wrong for decades. I've been talking about playing the music right and wrong for decades. Back before it was kind of accepted that you could talk about the music that way. When people just wasn't used to hearing other people's opinions so publicly spoken. Everybody had their own ideas, but they kept to themselves. People had to get used to hearing other people's ideas in their face, especially criticisms, against the band you love so much. You love this band so much. And then, somebody gonna say something bad about it. you got to learn how to accept or react to that. So I was like, ugh. I would say stuff. People's feelings would get hurt. And I'm talking about not people in the band. I'm talking about fans. Fans would get hurt. Feelings would get hurt. I'd be like, hey, come on now. You know, we good. No, back then I couldn't even say we was good. Back, it was so fresh and raw. You know, now social media has evolved to the point that where you can be critical like that. And it's understood that, hell, it's understood now that people do it on purpose. And you got to watch out for people just doing it just to get a rile out of you. And that you just got to, you know, you put something out there, you're going to get a counter argument, or you're going to get criticism. So I used to talk about how the music was played right and wrong, and who did this right and who did that wrong. And now, to have that in my backyard, to be a part of somebody, of something that plays it, that's just so important to me. That's just like major important. Again, it goes back to what something does for me. To me, I don't think you can, there's nothing higher or better than, the only thing you can talk about is how things affect you or make you feel. That's the only reality. That's the only true ultimate reality, is you talking about how things make you feel, what you think, you know, the impact they had on you. And there's nothing, I don't think there can be anything greater than that for an individual. I don't think there's no better or higher or more gracious terms that you could talk about something other than, you know, what is done and how it directly affects you and changed your life and made you this way or that way. So to be a part of that, I just can't emphasize or get out. And I'm probably, you know, developing, I'll probably repeat this over and over again in different stories. And I'll figure out a way to say it better. But, you know, just to be around them and stand there and look at them, look them in their faces, hear things and see that, and look up, and when they hit that spot, to just be able to close my eyes and just go away, but be there, have no other distraction, nothing between me and the music. And I remember, I done seen this band, I done seen Parliament Funkadelic over 200 times. That's just Parliament Funkadelic, let alone all the side stuff and everybody, other people playing the music and funk and P-Funk, and how many times I've heard Cosmic Slop. So I have an ear. I have a trained ear for it. I have a trained ear for all these years of times. I have training in listening to it and hearing it different ways. So I know when something ain't right or something is out of place. And sometimes, like I said, when I'm listening to the Maggots play, and it's so good, I question, is it me? I mean, how can these Negroes play this music so good? How can these cats just laying around LA? I mean, you know what I mean, not just laying around LA, but like, you know, people just hanging out, you know, or better, how can people I know, my friends, okay, I don't have friends. Let's go right there now. I have acquaintances. People saying, Jeffrey, you ain't got friends, stop. And you're probably right. I have acquaintances. You're right, friends is probably a strong word, but you know what I mean. So, so to have friends or to be associated with people who just, you know, casual, that ain't but Mestizo, that's Ollie Nero, that's Norwood, that's Barry, that's Charlie, you know, Ponytail, even Ponytail with his singing ass. And I realized that singing is an art. Everybody can't sing. Everybody can't sing, and everybody doesn't have that stage presence. You know, I'm like, oh, it ain't nobody. You know, in my mind, it's like, you know, familiarity breeds contempt, or just, you know, you just get used to it. Oh, ain't nobody with Ponytail. But Ponytail, you know, he be getting the lyrics wrong, but that don't matter to me so much. anymore because of his presence. I'm realizing his presence on stage, the thing he says, his energy, you know. I'm like, that's a skill, that's a talent. Everybody just can't get up there and do that. You know, even project to where you're talking on the microphone, where people can hear you, and you're not too loud, and how to back off the mic or how to get up on the mic, and all that stuff. You know, these are people I know. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. They ain't nobody but, you know, quote unquote, that ain't nobody but blah, 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 blah. No. These cats play the music. And it touches me. That P-Funk is my passion. And to have friends, quote unquote friends, or acquaintances that play it so damn good, that part, I can't overemphasize how crucial or critical or how unbelievably wonderful that is for me. I mean, it takes my breath away if you really think about it. It takes my breath away. There are moments when I'm just like, wow. You know, I feel tears welling up in my eyes. I'm like, oh, it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I'm standing there, right there at the speakers, right at the front of the stage. Oh, nothing between me and the music. I close my eyes, and it's just me and the music. I can go away, I'm not worried about where I'm at. I'm not worried about, you know, who's around me, who sees me, or what. I'm able to just put all that just goes away. And I just hear me and that music, every single drop. And I remember, I've done this hundreds of times, so I know what I'm listening for. Or should I say, I can't say I know, but I've done it so many times that I'll immediately know when something's out of place. Let me put it that way. I'll immediately know when something's out of place. And there's times where things have been out of place and I'll stop and jump. It startles me. I'll look up and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Or that ain't supposed to be there. You know, and like sometimes, you know, the LA Maggots get to jamming. You know, Mr. Clinton and them used to do that too. You know, things kind of not go off the rails, but they get kind of twisted up and the lyrics get lost and, you know, they don't know what the next verse is or the next chorus is. And I don't mind that part so much. If it makes me smile, I like it. And to get it back on course and look up on stage. People looking at me, I'm looking at them. And I'll give them a lyric. Because it's easier for me to remember where it's at. You know, it's easier for me to remember where it's at. They up there performing. Sometimes they forget. You know. And then I'll just, you know, put them back on or whatever. And it's just good. I mean, to be a part of that, it's just good. And like I said, I hope I named everybody. You know, Chuck Boogie was there. Who else? Chris was there. The dude on percussion, I think it was Stone Gun Clone, I forget. I met him, I know him. I know all these people. Who else? Ponytail was there. Eric was there. And then Splats. Who else? J.J. Dixon was there on percussion. That's what I'm talking about, the percussion. J.I. Dixon. Talking about the percussion. And how it, you know, it fit in. Who else? You know, I can't think of anybody. I forgot you. I mean, I'm sure I forgot. So Mr. Talley, let me give a shout out to Mr. Talley for putting it all together. Mr. Talley, somebody has got to be the person to book these things, to talk to these people, to get this band out there. Somebody has to do that. And it's not an easy thing to do. The reason I don't have friends is because I don't like dealing with people. I don't like relying, or dependent on people. And I don't want them relying, or dependent on me. And I'd rather just stay away from that kind of entanglement or relationship or whatever. And of course, there's benefits to it both ways. If you ever need help, you know, people are there. And if people need help from me, I'm there too. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. You know, if people need help, they reach out to me. you know, I'm more than willing to consider helping. I'm more than willing to consider to help them out. But somebody's got to do that job. You know, somebody's got to talk to these promoters, and talk to these people to be a promoter, talk to these venues, hash out the numbers, see who gets paid, see who doesn't, deal with band members, deal with monies and times and schedules, and I can't make it there. Who can we get to do this? And you know, I got to commend him for that. He's doing it. You know, he's doing it. He's learning the trade. In fact, at Watts Festival, he had both his bands there. He got both his bands booked there. That's a big deal. He got them both. It's Ledbetter and the LA Maggots. You know, he got them both booked there. You gotta give him that to him. I don't want to do it. Somebody needs to. That's how we all come together and do what we do. We all come together and do what we do. I don't know what I do. Kinda. What do I do? I don't know. But I like how I'm doing it. I like where I'm doing it. And I love who I'm doing it with. And then, yeah, I got to get recordings of the music, and I listen to it. I'm like, is it really as good as I think it is? Is it really as good? Like when I heard the 420 Funk Mom in New Orleans, and it was, I was like, this is the best I've ever heard P-Funk play, you know, immediately after the show. Next morning, I got to listen to the recordings I got. Could it really be this good? Is it me? Could this be me? And it seems so far it is. It really does seem so far it is. Now, is it perfect? No. And if it was, that'd make it weird. In fact, that 420 Funk Mob show, the one I was just talking about, that may be the best ever, that one may have almost been too perfect. That one was almost very clean, almost too clean. If there's such a thing, and there is. It's when P-Funk is concerned. P-Funk music, supposed to be a little sloppy, supposed to be a little dirty, supposed to be a little nasty. But, I didn't think I felt like talking about it today. I really didn't think I felt like talking about it. But I guess once I get going, start talking about that music, oh my. Oh my. Oh, and Oscar Jordan on guitar, because Tate wasn't there. I was hearing some of his licks, and he did a solo over, I think Atomic Dog or something, did a solo, it was good. And then, Oli Nero, who wasn't on this gig for whatever reason, you know, for financial reasons, Norwood took the bass this time. He showed up, you know, after he had a gig at a church or something, so he showed up, you know, he got on the mic, and he actually went up and got on guitar. I mean, I gotta hit him up about that. I'm like, were you actually playing? I didn't know you play guitar. He's like, oh man, we're talking about, I know you're gonna say, oh man, come on. Yeah. I can hear him now. I'm like, I didn't know you play guitar. So he got up there. Oscar Jordan filled in for Tate. Bobby Easton was the other guitar. So, you know, we got players. It's definitely got players. There are definitely players there. You know, there's definitely players there. And Eric Brown, I think it's his last name. I know these people, you know, I know them. I just, sometimes I don't, you know, know their names at all. I can't even say that I forget their names. Sometimes I don't even know their names, but I know them. He helped out Ponytail with the vocals, you know, to give him a little bit more backing vocals. Everybody had a Mike Barry Chenault sang, as he usually does. You know, it was good. Charlie Lake, Which one is George Clinton? And that was good. He was holding it down with the monologue and the talk and all that. So it was good. It was good. Needless to say, it was good. I done told you a bunch of times it was good, so I'm pretty sure you understand that. Well, anyway, I think I talked about it enough. Now I'm just talking. Now I'm just saying words to be saying words. Do I care do I really think that I talked about it enough? Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing? Talking about it enough? But there you have it. And LA Maggots do it again on October 5th at Barbara Morrison. And then October 12th, Parliament Funkadelic in San Francisco. Then October 13th, Pittsburgh Steelers at Las Vegas. So it's like that. Oh, Jar Harris was there. Oh my God, I gotta forget. Jar Harris, Slapback was there. Oh my God, I looked up and saw him there. I was like, oh, what's up, man? What you doing up here in LA County? It was good, he was up there. Of course, Charlie Lake gonna call him up on stage. He got a guitar. He took Bobby Easton's guitar. He started playing guitar. It was good. It was good seeing him there. I was like, this is like legendary. I was like, is this your first time seeing him? You know, he was there at Decades Bar. You know, I was trying to find something to gush over. But it was good. It was really good. It was really, really good. Ken Funk was there, Terrence McClain, Rod Shears, how could I forget Sir Nose? That's another part of the show that's important that I almost overlooked. Rod Shears comes in his suit. He built he created a flashlight. He had Gerald, oh my God, okay. I forgot about the peripheral, not the peripherals, but the stage people, whatever. Rod Shears comes in his white Sir Nose suit, comes in costume, the nose, flashlight, bob gun, and he brings the big posters, the P-Funk posters that are mounted, sets them across the stage just to give that essence. That's a big thing. And he walk around in character. He'll come out, like, get out of here. I'll be pushing him, get out. We don't want you here. Because he's the villain. And I know people in the crowd say, why is he treating the guy like that? And then they see the character, and then he started dancing. Flashlight, pow, And also, Gerald, Sir Funk, Wall, I think his last name. Gerald, he is a true Funketeer soldier. I think soldier would describe him. Soldier, I don't consider myself a soldier, but and he probably ain't a soldier either, but just for a word to think of, because he's there, equipment, audio stuff. He does the monologue. He does a lot of monologue and P-Funk soliloquies, if that's the word. And he just keeps it going, always dressed in his Funkadelic shirts, and just brings flavor and energy and a visual. His glasses, and just be bringing that funky stuff. And talking. That man can talk. Every time I see him, he talking. Every time I see him, he talking. And he can make ribs too. We make 8, 9 slabs of ribs and having parties way up in Lancaster. But anyway, him and Rod Shears, we were part of Zelda Norwood, Mother Funk, doing her part. It's just to be a part of this, to be a part of this. I mean, I love P-Funk. I've always loved P-Funk for 50 years. And to have this in my life, it's an important doesn't justify it enough. Important is just a subjective word I put on there. I want to show you how and why I feel the way I do about it and what's going on. But anyway, I think I covered it all. I said Chuck Boogie was there doing some stuff. And Chris playing having those patches and playing those parts. This is important. That it's just very important. You realize that when he hits that, and hits that sound right, and it comes in where it's supposed to, but it adds to the music. It was like when the Clones of Funk was playing the music versus how George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton didn't play it now, the mother band. There's parts in there that Mr. Clinton and them don't play anymore. And they don't necessarily have to, because it's a different thing. It's a different thing. Different crowd, different era. It's a different thing. You know, it's almost kind of hard to compare the two, because how George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic play music, and what they do for 2.5 hours is different than LA Maggots coming out and hitting hard for an hour straight, or something like that, you know. So to hear all those nuances there, and you know, have them pop up, and to hear parts of the music that I'm not used to hearing with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic, makes it different. And then that's where I come, well, y'all better then. And it's not really better. Probably better than the moment. It's not really better, but an argument can be made. An argument can be made anyway, because everything is subjective. But I love it all, but I do compare. Can we all get along? That ain't no fun. Nothing I learned from Parliament Funkadelic and Dysfunction, whatever, and funk. All of us getting along ain't no fun. It's gotta be a little something. There's gotta be a little something, something. Gotta be a push-pull, a yin and the yang. There's gotta be a little something, something. And I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Anyway, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. Totality of it all. Theory of universe. Hypothesis. House of Blues. Dude had on a House of Blues shirt. They're just talking about the House of Blues, huh? Totality of it all. Theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffrey.